Oh God, Dane.
Hello and welcome to Who Is Best, a show where I make tier lists of Tales games that only make people upset. Tales of the Abyss is a bit of a lost title. It's considered to be among the better titles in the series and has even been ported to the 3DS. But when it comes to the conversation, it seems to get buried under Tales of Symphonia, Vesperia, and Berseria. We're gonna change that today. We are asking ourselves, who is best in Tales of the Abyss? Now this will follow the same rules as our other Tales tier lists. We'll be considering a party member both as a controlled character and an AI one. The AI in this game is, as you expect, terrible. But it's especially bad when it comes to physical fighters, so mages pull ahead here. Other than that, I think we can just jump into the list, so be sure to subscribe for more disappointing content. Oh, and stick around for a bonus list. The tier. Ash is comparable to Luke in stats and playstyle, but has access to high phonic arts, which would make him better than Luke before New Game Plus. The main reason he's on the tier is that he's only available for a short amount of time and cannot be used in the endgame, making him the worst character in the game. The low tier. Oddly enough, our main hero Luke is going to be first up on the low tier. First of all, when playing solo, it's commonly recommended that you only use either Guy or Luke, and Guy is just slightly better. The main reason you would want to only use one or the other is that the AI is abysmal for physical attackers. If controlled, Luke's probably the worst choice as he's slow and struggles with chaining his arts into combos. He can also heal, but it's hardly worth mentioning. In New Game Plus, Luke actually jumps up a tier as he gains access to the ridiculously overpowered Lost Fawn Drive. But again, that's only after you've beaten the game. Next on the low tier is Guy. Guy is much faster than Luke and can perform combos much easier, overall making him the better choice of the two. He shares the same problems Luke has, meaning his AI is absolutely terrible, and magic users are just better. But he does have a self-heal that can be useful in tight situations. If you're going to play as a physical attacker, Guy is the recommendation. The mid-tier. Anise has an awkward build in this title. She's a jack of all trades that can be used as a caster, physical attacker, or healer, but she doesn't excel in any one area. Overall, she's best as a caster, and once she unlocks Bloody Howling, can actually compete with Jade on your party slots. But this takes a while, and until then, Jade is just the better option. Once you complete the Antlion Man subquest and get her endgame equipment, she jumps up a tier, but again, that is closer to the end of the game. Next on the mid-tier is Jade. Jade is your most consistent character and thus can be viable throughout your playthrough. Towards the endgame, Anise does pass him up, but not enough to erase his usefulness altogether. I'd say he's a safe choice overall and requires the least amount of work to be useful. In another version of this list, he'd be behind Anise as his damage is outpaced in the late game. The top tier. Natalia's biggest shortcomings is that she's the final party member you recruit, she comes under-leveled, and her buffs and heals are single target. Aside from that, she's an absolute beast of a party member. You see, Tyr is your main healer, but unfortunately she's also the best damage dealer in the late game. So having someone who can take the support role frees her up to demolish enemies. Natalia is the best choice for that role. On top of that, she does great long-range physical damage. Carmine and a late game revive spell make her a solid late game party member and an absolute necessity for an optimal team. The God tier. In the late game, Tyr can receive a pendant that increases her magic attack exponentially and immediately places her as the single best caster in Tales of the Abyss. But similar to Anise, this is later in your playthrough, so she isn't as strong a damager for the early and mid game. But unlike Anise, Tyr is an absolute necessity as she is the single best healer in the game and also has the most effective party-wide healing art. So in the early and mid game, she'll be your healer until she gains her pendant, at which time she should be made a full-on DPS, and healing should be covered by Natalia. On top of all this, she has the single best party buff in the game, Holy Song, solidifying her as the best party member in Abyss. And that's our list. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you would like to see more Tales content in the future. Also, thank you to all my Patreon members. If you would like to request your own tier list, Click on the link below and check out my Patreon page. There are a bunch of member-specific quirks to unlock. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you all later. Bonus round, top 10 best dressed warriors, go! Number 10, Resort King Jade. Number 9, Good Spirits Guy. Number 8, Cool Chick Tyr. Number 7, Star of Malkuth Natalia. Number 6, Wild Saber Luke. Number 5, Hopeless Dreamer Guy. Number 4, Cat Kitty Cat Anise. Number 3, Tropical Butterfly Natalia. Number 2, Rental Beauty Tyr. And number 1 is Abyss Red Luke.